boy, oh boy, oh boy, we got some dirty news on this scum here. Y'all remember this scum? It's the old man. They had walked out because they thought this was the shooter. Oh boy, check this out.
Says Robinson has admitted to the killing.
A text message exchange where the suspect specifically stated that he had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do that. And when he was asked why, he said some hatred cannot be negotiated with.
Patel says officials have seized multiple devices from the suspect's home where he lived with his romantic partner, and says DNA on a screwdriver and towel found at the crime scene are a match. We're also now learning the first person taken into custody after the shooting was allegedly trying to help Robinson escape. An affidavit revealing 71-year-old George Zinn claimed he was the one who shot Kirk, but officials say Zinn later admitted saying that to draw attention away from the real shooter. President Trump blames left-wing radicals and says Robinson was radicalized online.
It seems like he has wonderful parents, brought in a wonderful neighborhood, smart guy, great boards, great marks, great student. And then something happened to him over a fairly short period of time.
The New York Police Department is now warning of an increasingly volatile threat environment, saying the killing of Charlie Kirk and last year's killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson stem from the same toxic and violent atmosphere. The NYPD warning, rather than aligning with a single extremist ideology, malicious actors may adopt a personalized, hate-filled worldview drawn from a mix of beliefs, amplifying the risk of future attacks by lone offenders.
The political violence, targeted attacks, mass shootings that are plaguing the United States and have been for over a decade are in large part fueled by an online ecosystem that's saturated with violent and other content that's purposely placed there by foreign powers, terrorist groups, violent organizations here for the purposes of inspiring and informing future attacks.
Another alleged example, last week's school shooting in Colorado.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You just can't make this up. But before we jump into this, I just want to tell you guys that I hope that you are in good spirits, one day at a time. I know emotions are still high. People are still processing this, and it's just like something that's heavy on our heart. Things have just changed. You can feel it in the air, the energy when you go out in the public. This was the turning point, But do me a huge favor. Put rest in peace, Charlie, in the comments. Put some love in the comment section, man. Please fill the comment section with some love, man. I love you guys, man. God is love, and we're gonna continue to spread this love and be the light in this around these dark times that we live in, man. But just in breaking news, we're getting into y'all remember the old man. A lot of people are saying was a distraction, but a lot of people said they thought he did it, and especially when we first got the report and then seen the shot, and then all of a sudden you just see some man screaming and they walking him out, some old man walking out, and they have him in handcuffs, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's the shooter." And I think he was screaming something like, "Shoot me, shoot me," but you could tell how extra he was being. It was like, this can't be the shooter. This isn't adding up. Well, come to find out, the old man arrested at the Charlie Kirk, shooting has been charged with possession of child. Wow. You just can't make this up. Wow. This dirty scum. So this old man was in a possession of child porn. You just can't make this up. But it says, give this guy the same punishment as Kirk's actual killer. He's already been charged with felony obstruction after he admitted to staging a distraction to help the real shooter get away, and is being held without bond. Wow. After his arrest, George Zinn complained of chest pains and was transported to the hospital. FBI agents showed up to interview him, and he apparently volunteered to them. His phone was full of. Oh, okay. Now I'm understanding. So after the arrest, he complained of having chest pains and was transported to the hospital. FBI agents showed up to interview him, and he apparently volunteered them to his phone, and it was full of child. Yeah, just disgusting. You know, you just can't make this up, man. You just can't. You know, you just can't make this up, family. Wow.
We begin with Garrett Tenney live at the Utah County Jail in Spanish Fork with all the breaking details on this investigation. Hi, Garrett.
Carly, good morning to you. We have learned that the suspect told at least several individuals that he was planning to assassinate Charlie Kirk. In one of those instances, it was in a note he left for his romantic partner. In another, it was a text message to a separate individual. Neither person has been charged, but they could be down the road as the investigation continues. Here's FBI Director Cashapp describing one of those messages last night on Hannity.
We've collected information where, through witness interviews from the FBI and local law enforcement, that he essentially admitted after the shooting and assassination of Charlie Kirk, the suspect admitted to it. But I will say what was found in terms of information, a text message exchange where the suspect specifically stated that he had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do that. And when he was asked why, he said some hatred cannot be negotiated with.
The alleged assassin was an avid gamer and very active on Discord, which is a popular messaging platform used by a lot of gamers. We've learned that shortly before the 22-year-old turned himself in, he confessed to assassinating Charlie Kirk in a group chat on Discord. In messages obtained by the Washington Post, he wrote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've been all amazing. Thank you all for everything." We also know just hours before those messages, in a different chat group, the alleged assassin was joking with friends who said he looked really similar to the man the FBI was searching for. Here's Cashapp on Fox and Friends describing how those chat groups are factoring into this investigation.
People think we can just get in these group chats and immediately find out who's in them. And there are scores of people in this Discord chat room. But we have to effectuate legal process. We have to go out there with search warrants so that if prosecutors want to later use this evidence, it's not tainted by being illegally obtained.
The accused killer is expected to be formally charged today, and those charges are expected to include aggravated murder, which does bring the possibility of the death penalty. And in Utah, that can either be by lethal injection or by firing squad. Carly?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Garrett Tenney, live for us in Spanish Fork, Utah. Garrett, we will be watching. Thank you so much.
They ought to do his public execution live on television. They say, Rick, you shouldn't say that. No, you shouldn't. But you know what? I mean, man, maybe it'll teach y'all a lesson. It'll teach people a lesson. Put fear in people's hearts. Live on television. They ought to just put a thing up and put them up, or make an example out of them, and have people just shoot pellets at them until he bleed out. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, family. But took that man's life, man. A good man. I'm still hotter than fish grease, man. I'm pissed. I'm sad. I'm pissed. My emotions still high, but I'm at peace though. I'm at peace, man. But I just can't stop thinking about it. After watching that video, man, I know a lot of y'all have seen it and probably rewatched it. And you probably can't stop watching because everybody just keep reposting it. Kirk didn't have to go out that way, man. But it's for For the bigger picture, man. Everything happens for a reason, man. This is the turning point. Now there's millions of Charlie Kirks. Hope y'all ready. Buckle up. Buckle up.
Let's bring in former Assistant FBI Director Chris Swecker. Chris, thanks for joining us. We learned a whole lot yesterday, and almost all of it had to do with this alleged assassin's digital footprint, messages that he sent beforehand saying that he was going to commit this crime, and apparently messages that he sent afterwards admitting to it. So how are investigators going to be using these messages to build their case?
Well, it'll be a very important part of their case. I mean, this is shaping up to be a very, very strong case. You have all the forensic evidence that's been piling up. You have these statements in the gaming chat room, if you will. The FBI has been gathering all this evidence in, as well as the other investigative agencies. And it really does paint a picture. So you knit all that together for a prosecution, and there just aren't a whole lot of defenses to this type of evidence. What I think Cashapp was correct. What people wonder why the FBI in these chat rooms monitoring things that are going on. It's just not that easy. They need a tip or a lead from a member of the chat room or a member of the public that's had access, because they can't just go willy-nilly surfing through all these social media sites and chat rooms and gaming sites. There are DOJ guidelines and FBI guidelines and constitutional guidelines that prohibit that.
But Chris, now that we have those guidelines and those requirements met, the FBI is combing through the digital footprint, not just of the alleged assassin, but those with whom he communicated. So, Chris, to me, the real question at this point is, what charges could this possible extended network face if they are found to have radicalized Tyler Robinson into killing Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, it opens up the possibility of a conspiracy type of charge. That's going to be very difficult. This type of charge is very difficult if it's encouragement or passive, just listening to the information and not reporting it to law enforcement. That's a tough one. But that's something that I'm sure they're looking at very hard. If it's after the fact and they didn't say anything, that's one thing, maybe accessory after the fact. If they were privy to pre-planning and information that would have helped help law enforcement intervene and prevent this, then it starts to get a little bit stronger. So I think it remains to be seen here. It could be a stretch, but let's see what happens. I think they have a better chance of doing that type of case in federal court.
So one of the charges he is currently facing, it could change later today, but one of the charges he was arrested on is aggravated murder. And you heard Garrett say that does meet the criteria for the death penalty in Utah. Do you see that as where this case is going?
Absolutely. I mean, that's been mentioned in press conferences. It's been, the governor made it a specific point to mention that, and I think that's one of the reasons that the state charge is much stronger, is they want to leave that death penalty on the table. There is a federal death penalty, but it's a little bit more difficult. So, and Utah has had executions in the not too recent past. So it's up there for and I would not be surprised at all to see the death penalty enhancement in the indictment itself.
And some notes on what people can expect later today. FBI Director Cashapp set to appear before the Senate Judiciary Committee. He's going to obviously face questions on this probe. There's also going to be an appearance by this suspect, 5 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be virtually streamed from the Utah County Jail. There's also going to be a press conference held at 2 p.m. Eastern time to talk about the charges filed in this case. So we will be watching all of it as it unfolds, as we know, Chris, that you will be as well. Chris Swecker, live for us. Thank you.
Death penalty. God doggone right. Give him the death penalty. Let's do it today. Let's do it right now. Let's do it in an hour. There you boy. But there is so much going on with this case. We're going to keep you guys updated with everything. I love y'all, man. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day, rest of the week. That you continue to spread the love. It's one love, man. We put politics aside. And especially in moments like this, times like this, it's time for us to come together, man. You know? But buckle up. This is the turning point. Buckle up.